Can you believe that team? Is there a more entertaining coaching duo than Rassie Erasmus and Jacques and Rassie? Has there ever been one? Unbelievable. What an incredible call to make for a Rugby World Cup final. Not only a 7-1 split, but imagine any other squad picking 4 scrum halves in their 33-man squad for a World Cup and then only selecting one of them for the biggest game of them all. This is unreal. So lots to unpack here. I'm Tim, this is Egg Chasers, and I'm unpacking it at the airport. This is hold on a second. That's where I am right now. That's my view. That's outside Kalamata Airport. I'm just about to go in. I probably should have gone in already to go and get through to the departure lounge. But come on, I'm on my way to Paris, and I'm there for the Rugby World Cup final. This has to be talked about. This is unreal. So I don't think there was any surprise really, that particularly with the weather conditions and how the semi-final went, that Handré Pollard and Faf de Klerk are starting the game. Those are the only changes to the starting 15. But in terms of the match day 23, to go for a 7-1 split and the one back on the bench being Villy Leroux, did not see that coming. I think this is tell me what you think in the comments, this is a wet weather side, no question. And I think had South Africa picked this squad for England last week, it would have been a comfortable victory, but no, it wouldn't have been a comfortable victory. They would have won the game without having to wait till the 77th minute properly, because this seems like a wet weather side with bags of energy in the pack waiting to come off the bench. So, but what a call. So I was just going through this in my head. What happens? Faf de Klerk goes off. What happens then? Presumably Cheslin Colby comes to scrum half, just ships the ball to Handré Pollard and he does all the kicking. If something happens to Handré Pollard, well, presumably Faf de Klerk will just do all the kicking. But if something happens to 2 of the backs, I know in the comments people always say Quagga Smith was a sevens player, can play in the back line, but my goodness me. So obviously, rugby is all about trade-offs. All around the park, it's trade-offs, isn't it? You play once, you make one choice, it opens up opportunities for the opposition elsewhere. And this is a trade-off, isn't it? Obviously, they have decided in maybe the biggest game of their lives that they're going to put all their eggs in this basket where the pack are going to be not just dominant, but so dominant that they can just take the New Zealand forwards to the cleaners. Of course, this is reminiscent of the Twickenham Test match just before the World Cup, when they named a 7-1 bench split for the first time. By the way, spare a thought for Matt Williams and John Kerwin and Jeff Wilson. I wonder how they're feeling right now. Not fair, it's not fair. But they named this 7-1 split for Twickenham, and then it ended up being 8-0 because of the injury that happened before the game. So we had that sight of the 8 forwards walking onto the pitch. Will we get another sight like that in this World Cup? Will it backfire? Were New Zealand planning for this? And if so, what tactic have they got to ride that storm? Is the weather forecast going to pan out the way it seems? Is it going to be a wet night? If the weather suddenly gets better, it could look like a bad decision. What do you make of it? The only thing I can think is that this is a seriously bold call that I can't help but admire, because it's a World Cup final. This isn't a friendly match at Twickenham. This is a World Cup final from a team vying to be, well, take their nation to be the greatest in rugby history and to match the feat of their opponents, New Zealand, in going back-to-back in World Cup titles. What a call. Leave your comments in the channel. Tell me what you think. I'm going to be hopping on a plane now to Paris, where I'll be there at the final on Saturday night. Rassie and Jacques have just made sure that the next 48 hours we have got lots and lots to talk about. So thank you, South Africa, for that at the very least. What am I missing? If 2 players go down, what am I missing? How can they get around this? Is it worth the risk? Let me know.